and the biggest club in the world, Manchester United. And of course, we've had a turnaround in positivity in terms of performances with the win that we had most recently against Brighton with Ronaldo and Bruno giving us a 2-0 win. But of course, there's also negativity once again leading up to the game against Leeds on Sunday at Elland Road, which is a tough game for us to actually have to play. And it's even more tougher for us because we have Atletico Madrid in the Champions League next weekend, Tuesday, which will definitely be a tough game. And by far, I would say our toughest test yet to see exactly how far we have come as a team under Ralph Rangnick and exactly where the players' heads at. Because it's very difficult to read certain things in the media and hear reports such as players that are turning on Ronaldo, players such as Maguire, Rashford and co has been reported to have they don't like the fact that Ronaldo has this power and he has a clique that is kind of following him and trying to make him the leader and Maguire is the captain. So for me personally, it seems to me like there's a bit of a European or foreign versus English players, because the players such as Maguire, Rashford, Shaw, we pull in McTominay there as well. These players are used to being the usual starters, the guys that everyone listens to at the club, the main guys, if you have to put it that way. And of course, when players such as Bruno came in, even more so when Ronaldo came in, they knew for the fact that he was going to be the leader of the club, of the team, that everybody was going to listen to what he says. Because, it's self-explanatory. The man has won everything there is to win in football. To date, he probably is the best footballer of all time. It's debatable, of course, but in my opinion, he is the greatest footballer of all time. And it is difficult to actually, again, as I've said before, hear how these players are fighting in the dressing room, and then hearing later reports such as, they're saying the dressing room is fine, they are united, and focused on the game on Sunday. I think that's a load of crap. I don't think that's actually true, because how is it possible that we go from saying that there is disruption in the dressing room and saying that this dressing room is disjointed, and having players such as Marcus Rashford coming out and saying no, but that's not true and it's not like that? And why is there a defensive reaction from Marcus Rashford? Why is he actually trying to defend himself, if not the people that supports him and sees him as a leader? His performances on the pitch haven't been that great of late. It hasn't been that fantastic. So why on earth is there this urgency for him to defend himself immediately after reading those reports? It's probably because, in my opinion, he's one of those that have been leaking news out from the team to make the coach Ralph Rangnick look bad, to make the club look bad, to make Ronaldo look bad, because their names, their brands are being affected. The people that they have around them can't protect him anymore because their performances on the pitch doesn't allow them to do that. And even off the pitch, they're not, exemplary themselves because of how they treat other players, how they potentially treat, their teammates, the people that look up to them. I'm sure there's players in the under 23 and in the academy even who look up to Marcus Rashford, and he kind of probably hasn't been an example as of late, and it's been weird. Try and figure it out. Rashford was literally this particular player that done so well for us in the past, and in 2 occasions we know definitely he was basically the hero in Paris, against PSG. And that tells you in itself how important Marcus Rashford can be. However, I've said in previous videos, if you haven't seen it, go and check it out. I've said that his performances of late has not been the best and what we know and can expect of Marcus Rashford. And it's better to be seen now that in the dressing room, he's losing his power as a leader, because I'm sure, being Manchester United's number 10, playing for England, doing everything he does off the pitch, fantastically well. People look up to him. He's got so much protection. I've said in another previous video that he cannot be criticized for his bad performances. Many a times, other players get criticized, but he would perform badly and nobody would say a thing. Yes, nice to see you walk in the background there, Loki, for those who saw the tail. Just the Rottweiler that we do have over here. Yeah, so sorry about that. He also, tends to have the selfishness on the pitch, and we've 100% seen it. But moving back to the dressing room and why I kind of feel that this is not, you know, very, very easy to hear, especially leading up to a very important game for us. It's, as I've said, it's not going to be an easy game. Ellen Road against Leeds United, who play a very, very high intensity, high pressing, man for man, tactical type of football from Marco Bielsa. And of course, Daniel James has been definitely, putting in the work and scoring the goals, for Leeds United. And I'll definitely speak about Leeds United in a preview video to the game. But for this video, I want to continue to focus on the dressing room, unrest that we have at the club. And this captaincy battle that's going on at the moment. There's rumors speaking that, Harry Maguire might be stripped of the captaincy, and we all know it probably will perhaps go to Ronaldo. Of course, if you do think, that there is another player that is, captain material for you, definitely leave your comment, in the comments below about who you think and believe would be the perfect captain for Manchester United. Not just for, the rest of the season, if there should be a captaincy change, but also for next season. If you basically want to give your opinion on that, definitely leave your comments in the comments below. And, I, to myself personally, feel Ronaldo should get it for the time being. He is, the leader that we definitely need on the pitch, but also off the pitch. His life is exemplary. Of course, we don't want to speak about negativity on a player like Cristiano Ronaldo, but we see the positivity. We see the way he, addresses himself. We see the way he works on himself, his health, etc. He's still fit at the age of 37, playing at, a very intense league, being the Premier League. And that in itself, is something to commend and something to respect. And that is why there is a number of players that look up to him on the pitch and look up to him to lead off the pitch and in the dressing room, because he's been in the toughest of dressing rooms. He's played with, the greatest of players. He's played with great centre backs alone. And for someone like Harry Maguire to come in and disrespect him and not show him the necessary respect that he deserves, I'm sure in a football world, as we do live in here, Manchester United and the Stretford End, Ronaldo probably looks at Maguire and goes, I've played with Chiellini. I've played with players like Ramos. I don't need to listen to someone who can barely, defend himself properly in a one-on-one. Lets the team down, every game, inconsistent performances. It's difficult for Ronaldo to actually listen to him, but he has to, because as we all know, Harry Maguire is the captain. And, it's a bit silly to think that these players don't want to respect Ronaldo, or, basically not saying they should look up to him. They are professional players in their own right, with their own mindsets and their own brands, as we very well know. But at least show him the footballing respect that he deserves. There are other players who look up to him, other players who love playing with him. And then there's others who are just like, why do we have to play with this guy? When he's not on the pitch, we play better, etc., etc. There's this huge dressing room unrest, and I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's right for any of the players to have this, especially, as I've said, leading up to a Leeds game at Ellen Road, which is very important, and also the game against Atletico Madrid. So it is very difficult to hear this, and it's sad to hear that we have to face this. I think our club is at the darkest moment it has been, since Alex Ferguson retired. And, it's basically one of those things where we have to break down the foundation and rebuild up, once again, the great club that Manchester United is. Thank you guys for joining me on today's episode with the Stretford End and me, the host, Sasha Johnson. I would like to say continue to subscribe to the channel. Definitely give it a like if you've loved what you've seen. And also continue to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and of course on TikTok, as we're trying to grow the Stretford End community much bigger than it can be and reach every Manchester United supporter right across the world. That is it from me, Sasha Johnson, and the Stretford End. Goodbye.